The scores have been compiled.
And the results have been tabulated.
Who are the ones moving on?
Who were the ones continuing their journey to supremacy?
Welcome to the qualifier results and group stage showcase stream of
the OSU Philippines Nationals 22 Osimania 4K 7K tournament.
Napashort ka ata na 2,000 doon sa year ha.
Oh wait, there is a 2022! Oh my goodness!
Oh, grabe naman, may script na sana, nagkamali ka pa rin. But anyways, this is Surf285 and Silweska also in the commentary. Alongside with me also is Arcat, Lenpai, Paul Kappa, Melancholy, and Itawatli also joining us in a bit. But anyways, I think we said the purpose of this stream in the intro. How was everything? Kamusta kayo?
Everything's good, of course.
Everything's fine. I
Yeah.
think.
Things are exciting.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the results. Especially, I didn't really anticipate any of the players at all. I didn't watch. I didn't ref, and it's really shocking to see new names on the top seeds. But I won't spoil. Sir?
Yeah, there were a lot of surprises, I think. And especially that me and Emily have been watching the results as they come in. Like, man. But anyways, similar to last week's stream, the sequence for tonight will be 7K first and 4K second for the purposes of viewer retention. Sorry na po, yung naglalaro kayong 4K, maghintay kayo.
XD.
Yeah, you know, we do need that streamer stuff. We
need the viewer retention, so yeah. Anyways, first things first will be the qualifier results, then the group stage draw, then the group stage map pool showcase, 7K, 4K, 7K, 4K, and alternate, and so like that. So without further ado, it's time for us to show the results of the Osumania 7K qualifiers. So first things first, there were 26 players who showed up. 26 players who signed up, but only 24 showed up. It just so happens that there are 24 players advancing from this round, and the 24th seed is Loha Warp. Actually, the lowest ranking player on all 6 qualifier charts as well. Up next in the bottom seeds is
Pantalon.
Wait, who's that? It's shorts. Oh my god, my eyesight's so terrible today.
Yeah, I think baka may siguro i-zoom in natin mamaya.
Yeah, that's.
Anyways, Shorts will be the second best player. Then up next in the bottom seats is Don Pausto. Like pretty decent scores. At least at his level. Like this is qualifiers. Map pools are generally harder than practically early game. So kind of expected for a lot of these bottom seeded players to score a bit lower. Then next up is Edison, qualifying at 21st place. Also a few decent scores actually. That bakit nasanay ako SV in stage 1, no? That
But
accuracy
SV.
qualifier stage 1 is pretty decent, 920k. The other harder stuff though are kind of and he's working on. Up next is yung isa sa mga pinilit sumali, si Alpha. Getting pretty good scores across the board. Like as far as I remember, not failing a chart during the qualifiers, even without just no mod. Kind of some troubles with some LNs, but I mean he plays O2 Gem from time to time, so I guess that works out. And rounding out the bottom seeds is Lordy, with actually again having a harder time on the long notes, both on stage 2 and stage 4. Stage 6 also might be a bit shaky. I mean, stage 6 has been notoriously difficult for what it is.
Sir. And yeah, as you can see, it's really surprising that he's getting a decent score on these Rise maps. Because it's all above 700k, which is quite impressive for a 7k player. Because I cannot score that much on Rises, to be fair.
Also, just a comment. I'm seeing a lot of struggles for like the bottom C right now on stage 2. I mean, it's really hard, but their scores are really similar. Like 470, 462, 467. Yeah. Is it really that hard?
The scores will be getting higher as we go through the spectrum, yes, but there's this kind of adage in the 7K tournament scene here in Osu, like Osumania. Nobody likes to play coordination LNs, okay?
Oh god. Yeah. Well,
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
Except
pretty
for
much
me.
that.
Even for like higher level players.
Band releases
in
XD.
MWC, right?
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
like
band releases.
some pretty interesting observations here is that for the bottom seed players, their score comparing the scores between stage 4 and stage 5, it's quite interesting that they'd actually perform better in stage 5 despite stage 4 having much more rolly and comfy patterns, while stage 5 has more technical mini jack based patterns. Just a little bit of an interesting observation here. And it looks like stage 2 and stage 6 are really just the main difficulty points here because of the LN release qualities of the charts, which aren't really trained at this level yet. So yeah.
Now let's move to the low seeds of the 7K division. We have at rank number 18, the Meme Thief XD, yet another 4K player in the 7K rankings. Actually, pretty decent at 7K, especially at the lower level stuff. 932,000. I mean, yeah, 933K on stage one, and actually scoring pretty decently on stage two with 781,000. Actually, I think you'll have to watch out for this guy on some release heavy stuff. Next up is Nathan on Mania, another returning player from the 2021 7K Nationals. Um, Pretty decent scores all across the board. Like this is where you will start to see like the people who are able to stages 2 until stage 5, because stage 6 has to be the hard one, obviously. Then next up at number 16 is Tenshi from the KN clan. Seeding at number 16, actually one of the better accuracy scores at stage 1, 985,000, but getting pulled on the other charts, especially stage 2 with a 600 at basically the 18th best score on Waterland. And then seed 15 is Keishi at, which is a surprise because this guy is super decent at the game now. Like he just cleared 9th LN Dan, if I'm not mistaken, and it shows on his stage 2. But unfortunately, it is his best perform. It is the only stage he performed at his best. I mean, his Afterburner at 909,000 is pretty good as well, but just not cracking top 10. And then yeah, but top 10 on the, what do you call it? Stage, I know, top 12 on stage 6 is kind of saying something about the difficulty. Like Keishi is like one of the more decent players in the roster.
I agree.
Now we have Jans, one of the newer players in the player list, scoring practically just middle of the road here at seed 14. Also pretty good scores across the board. And as far as I know, this he also has the 10th best score on Sparkler. Then seed number 13 is Arj Fangirl. We're not allowed to call him by his nickname in the Osu Davao community. Shoutouts na lang po sa imuha. Nakauli na ba kagikinog Japan? Iuli pa na ko imuhang Skyrim cartridge sa Switch. Okay. Anyways, now that rounds out the bottom seeds. Up next is the high seeds, and here are a lot of the more familiar names in the 7K scene in the Philippines. At seed number 12 is Windrush 123. I think this guy doesn't really need that much instructions, should he? And then up next, at number 11 is Bueno, one of the players as well for Team PH in the 4-digit 4K Mania World Cup. If I remember correctly, somebody could correct me there.
Yes, 2020.
Yeah, he was part of the winning team of that tournament, and he has been playing 7K a lot, and he is good at it. Like he has pretty good scores at the across the board as well. Then clinching number 10 is Siamese, also Mania PH Terraria gang. Shout out. One of the better players as well. Practically scoring decently on, actually 9th place on 3 of the 6 charts. Only Waterland pulling him down just a tad bit at 893,000. At 9th seed is Nick Colot. Immediately seeing he's actually one of the best release players, getting the 5th best score at stage 2. And at seed number 8 is Homura. I think you're seeing some trend here. Though
Homura
stage
ID.
2 and stage 6 are his problems, but those that relies on his Rice physicality, even stage 4, despite it being LNs, it's showing like he performed very decently on it.
Man, I'm seeing like stage 2 is the real tiebreaker here, huh?
Correct.
Yeah. Now at 7th seed and rounding out the high seeds on Osimania 7K is Shadow Song 0916. From what I remember, this guy actually plays is like an auto jammer player. Paul mentioned something about like this guy sounds familiar. Or was it somebody else in the call earlier before we started the stream?
Yeah, I think it was me. Yeah, I think I saw that name on AutoJam V3 back then. Maybe way back 2017, where I started playing that game. He's really good at the game as well. So yeah.
Then now we're on to the top seeds, and immediately at seed number 6 is one of the biggest surprises, I suppose. The defending champion is seeded number 6. Barry, who, I mean, he's kind of, I mean, he just got off a boat after how many months?
So,
Kind of understandable for somebody who has to get their bearing straight again.
yeah,
But
let's
yeah,
avoid the
that's
rust.
a big surprise. That is a big surprise, nonetheless.
And going to the next seed is
Number 5 is
Boji.
Bodley, the guy who forced one of these players to farm infamously daw ng isang araw. But yeah, Bodley getting number 1 score on stages 1 and 5, which is expected of him. Like he's an accuracy
He's
buff player. Like very good at Rice in general. Like man, only disappointing point score him, I suppose, is stage 2, which again, who likes to play coordination and releases, I guess.
It's so funny seeing Boji struggling on LN releases. Like seeing his scores on like one on stage one, stage three on second, stage 5 on first, 6 on stage 6, then 11th on stage 2. Like it's so weird. It's a
yeah,
really
Yeah,
weird placement.
magkakatalo talaga sa ano, yung mid skill set.
and yeah, by the way, Boji, I'm sorry for stage 6, by the way.
Mhm.
Anyways, at seed number 4, the Archangel Arquin Olivirus getting, oh man, actually he doesn't have any number 1 scores, funny enough, but his consistency at the top level is so good. Like he's an absolute threat. If you He's an absolute threat in this tournament. And moving on to number 3 is Sunny. Um,
Another alien.
not also same way as Arquin. Like he doesn't really hold any number 1 scores in any of the stages, but again,
Look at that
consistency is
stage
key.
6. Holy.
Yeah, that's stage 6. He has the second best score at 979,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This just proves that he's really good at LNs. Look at that. Stage 2, stage 4, and stage 6. All top 3 scores.
And at number 2 seed, which means if you are following the player list, you know who's number 1. Anyways, at number 2 is Lack Points, which carries actually no number 1 scores as well, but the amount of that consistency. Number 3 at stage 1, number 2 at stage 2, number 4 at stage 3, number 3 at stage 4, 6th place at stage 5, and 3rd place at stage 6. Like, ever since that 272 point incident in MWC 7K, he has been popping off. Like, I think he doesn't want that to happen yet again come next year if MWC 7K is going to happen. And it's showing. And of course, at number 1, Osimania PH 7K's rank number 1, global rank number 6, unless like something happened. Global number 6 is Korra.
Of course.
Wait, I am in awe. How do you 990 stage 2? Oh, what?
Because he had Ilya release map. That is why it's like an inspiration to him.
Wow, I'm crying.
Yeah, that's Cora.
Let's go,
The
right?
second place in the tournament last year and is definitely bidding to win this year. And
Yeah,
of
it's
course making history as well for to be the first player to win both 4K and 7K nationals. For those who didn't know, Cora won the 2019 4K nationals. And he definitely has a chance to win this one.
yeah, it's just Kura. ETT runner up, by the way.
ETT runner-up, just missing out on Yang by a few points. But still, I think he doesn't really need that much of an introduction. And now that we're done with the Osamania 7K results, it's time for us to move to the other side of the tournament with the 4K. Emily and Arcat, you may take the floor.
Okay, so before we start, I just want to add to the thrill, okay? Like, would you say that this was a surprising result? Or would it not be surprising at all?
Wait, I because it's my first time seeing the actual qualifier result just 10 minutes ago or like 15 minutes ago. Um it's really shocking to me how some of those players that I anticipated to be on the top is like mid. You know?
Understand? And yes, this is really the thing here. There's just a lot of new names here.
Yeah.
And I am ready to see it. Should we go with it now?
Yeah, sure.
Of,
I'm
of
really
course.
excited.
Of course,
I'll,
let's
I'll join you. I'll join you guys because I've been following it as well.
yeah, me and
I'm
Sergio have been
I'm going to cry.
So let's start with the bottom seeds first, of course.
Now let's show the first who unfortunately have to say goodbye this early on, I guess.
I mean, oh yeah, I forgot that this one has eliminated players, and I think I should name them on order. Should we name them?
Yeah, from
Okay,
bottom to top.
so I'll go. That's SZ20, Nif Concord. Yes, there's no I. Creator ML, Shira34 Nov, Wilkins, Mygas Big Changas, Ramsky, Franvik, Noob Fiddle, Hannah, BLXX, Shorts, Tokia, Carldistry, Truos, Lilyflower, Sayuri, Defi, and Edison. So here are our players that did not qualify, and if your name isn't any of these players, then you basically made it.
I mean, except for those who did not play, obviously.
Well, of course, I mean that is it. I really feel bad for number 33 because look at that SV score. Number 11 on that is no joke.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, honestly. Number 11 on SV is quite really amusing. It's amazing to see how a rank 33 can outplay lots of players on basically the top 32.
Yep, and I guess that should be it for those who did not qualify. We should now
Now-
proceed.
Oh man, like there's a lot of surprises, I tell you.
Alright, let's start with the lowest bottom seed, right?
Yeah, bottom seed. We have
So, Kotaru, I just
Oh.
want to say right now, this guy was a high seed in 2021. Look at what happened here.
True.
That is a big statement to how much players have improved right now.
Also, am I
And-
seeing that right? Rank 39 on SV.
Yeah, I think that really pulled the score down. Goes to show how you should practice these maps. Practice is very important, especially on a map where you cannot sight read. And a seed higher than Kotaru would be Drag. I believe this is one of those imports from another country. I believe Drag is hailing from the United Arab Emirates.
but it's confirmed Filipino. He has Filipino genes, so he's allowed. As per rules, obviously.
Yep, and moving on to number 30. That would be Cerno, or Chirno, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah, chill, no?
Overall, pretty balanced with the exception of Hybrid 1 and Rice 1. This is kind of the stuff that they might have to work on improving, but overall, pretty balanced. And above Cirno, we'll be going with seed number 29, which is Normiplier. This one is a very impressive one because this guy is a 5-digit. Qualifying as a 5-digit in a stacked tournament like this is very impressive.
I have no thought.
Well,
Up next,
up next is Sachiani. Again, pretty balanced with the really high hybrid 1. Unfortunate on the SV and Rise 2. Goes to show that physicality may be something they could work on. SV also could be practiced more. But overall, that's just it. And raising one more player up would be Lordy. This is one of the 4-digit Mania World Cup players in
Oh.
2022.
This
And-
shocked me so much, honestly.
Well, if you were to look at the Rise, SV, and like just Rise and SV in general, you would be expecting to see this in like a mid or a low seed rather. But
Yeah.
those Ellens and hybrids really killed it, meaning they could have been more balanced in that regard.
Really struggled on stage 3 though. But on stage 5, he's doing really decent.
No, seed 33 is pretty behind if you ask me.
Mhm.
But we'll be going one more higher. And that would be Sorafuru, another player from the KN clan along with Lordy. Seems like this time around, SV again lowered their score by a fair bit. While their Elven seem to be more decent than the rest and hybrid as well. Their Rise 1 score has also been pretty decent, so you gotta watch out on your early stage game here if you're facing Sorafuru. And I believe this is the next one should be the last of the bottom seeds. That would be Arch Fangirl. I believe this person has like returned to playing 4K just for this tournament, if I'm not mistaken, since they're mainly a 7K player now.
Yep.
And yeah, this is overall a balanced set of scores with the exception of stage 4 and stage 6. But if you were to look at those stage 1, 2, 3, and 5, you would think that he would be on the low seed and not the bottom seed. But nonetheless, pretty good that they qualified.
Stage 4 basically tires him up to the point where he couldn't play that really well on stage what is it again? Stage 6.
this is the
But
tiebreaker. Yeah.
yeah. And it shows that the stage 4 is actually like above there. It's semifinals, a stamina map, and players can really trip up on that stage.
Yeah, that's true. Moving on, we will be starting to the lowest of the low seeds. Seed number 24, that would be Yukochi. Wow! Is it mere that rating is the same?
Wait.
It is the same, but like, Yukochi has a slightly higher rating than Arch Fangirl. And that's why he is in the low seed. Isn't it? It's crazy that a very, very minuscule difference decided what was the low seed and what was the bottom seed. And the minimal difference is what propelled Yukochi to this high. It does seem that... Wait a minute.
Help.
Hey, well,
Help.
Help.
Help. Help.
Help.
Help.
What just happened? What just happened?
All of them are fake.
Um,
Don't mind that. All of them are fake.
Okay. We're in a okay.
There you
there
go.
you go. But like, yeah, as I was saying though, stage 2, Yukochi did amazing in that one. But Rise 2 and SV1, they kind of fell a little bit behind there. And just goes to show how accuracy will be a big factor. So for those who are facing Yukochi, gotta be careful. But physicality wise and SV wise, they might fall off easily. And moving forward, that would be Olaf. I like that name, by the way.
let it go.
Yep.
Where's Elsa?
Well, you gotta let it go. There's no Elsa, unfortunately. But as you can see right now, their scores are mostly in the 20s range. It's just that stage 4, it does seem like a trend here. Like a lot of the players in this set of players, like they're getting killed by stage 4. Goes to show that physicality really is something that these players might lack. And let's go one more higher. We have the Meme Thief XD. Some of the big names are showing up already. Stages 2 to 4 particular, reaching or at least almost reaching high seed status. It's just stage 1 and stage 5 could have been improved a little bit more. In general, just pretty good performance.
You're telling me right now a 992 on stage 2 is only 18?
Yep.
Yes.
That's how good players are now. Alright.
Oh,
I'm sorry, man. Everyone's good now. I like
Okay,
how.
bro. What the? Let's move on.
Alright, let's move on. Like Elsa said, let it go, right? Let's go on one higher. And we have Hago, also known as Hagorumu. What is that? Stage 3 score 15th. And I believe stage 4 is a 13 with the hybrid at 11. But their Rise accuracy, their LN2, and also their SV is what pulled them down here. So like, players could think maybe there's an act disadvantage with this player. And you gotta be careful because if you cannot pull off a pretty decent stage 2 score, you'll be struggling in the earlier rounds.
It's funny how look at the stage 6 right now. The players below are like 35, 36, 20. Then we jump to 22 to 11.
I know, right? That's a crazy difference.
Like, that's so crazy.
Yep. And let's go with number 20. That would be Jay. With the good Ellen in general. Like 957 and 979. Good for 16 and 18 respectively. And also, I forgot to mention that hybrid is at 17, which is really good. It's also clear that they practiced the SV. But really, Rice 1, their accuracy held them this low, which is very unfortunate. But again, good performance. This is the middle of the low seeds after all, so pretty almost there. Alright, so let's go with 19 now, which is Steven. Steven had a good performance in general. It's just stage 2 really killed them. 982k, pretty decent, but compared to these players, that is only 34th, which is pretty unfortunate if you ask me. And after Steven, you would be having... You'll be having Tenshi with a pretty decent spread in general. This is one of the more balanced one I've seen. And that's a trend that you should notice because the higher we go, the more balanced players get. It's just SV1 is something that they could potentially improve on. But other than that, they almost made the cut for high seed. And moving on to the final low seed would be Frostno. Some of the 4DM names are already here, and it goes to show how stacked this tournament is. Frostno was a very good stage 1, stage 2, and stage 5. It's just that stage 4 kind of really killed it for them because physicality could be difficult on their end. And anyways, that's it for our low seeds. Any comments?
I do think Frostno is just a tad bit lacking on stamina. Well, mostly physicality, but overall, I think he can maybe defeat more opponents on the early stages like round of 16 or up until like quarterfinals. But we'll see. I'm hoping for Frosto to at least reach round of 16 or quarterfinals. But let's move on to the what's it again? High seed.
I see.
So
And
numbers...
before we introduce the high seeds, I think after this, a lot of people will be surprised with how that will turn out.
All right.
But anyways,
Well, there's one already revealed, and that's Astolfo. With, of course, as expected, they'll be doing really good on the Rise. But I was particularly surprised with their LN score. Number 14 on stage 3 is no joke. 26 is pretty okay, but that seems to be something that they could work on. Early game release is difficult, but gotta work on it if you want to place higher. And we'll be going with 15. That's going to be Gleo. Again, one of our foreigners who actually gets to play in here because they are proven Filipino after all. With an insane stage 1. 971k is really, really good. Their Rise 1 and Rise 2 also cracking top 11 and top 8 respectively. It's just the LNs really dragged it down. And that is
XB34.
unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But luckily, the rest of their stages were really good. So they're here at high seed.
This is a chance for to anyone's playing against Gleo. Do not ban LN. It is
Alright.
a sign.
Alright, but we'll have to see first when they actually play group stage. And we'll be going to number 14. And number 14 would be Melancholy. With
Ooh.
the really decent spread. Very balanced with the exception of number 4 with the 24th rank. And that is what kind of pulled them down. But as you can see with the rest of their scores, it literally just cracks from 16 to 12, which is very impressive. And moving on from Melancholy, that would be Axe Fairy, also known as Kiss Off.
wag nyong sabihin yung...
Don't
Wag
worry.
mong sabihin. Wag mong sabihin.
We
Bawal.
will not be saying the magic words here, okay?
Wag
But
mo nang subukan.
something I'm kind of surprised of is Kiss Off getting a 22 on SV. I thought they would have cracked at least the top 15. However, they did prove to be very versatile with their skill sets, as stages 2 to 6 were really impressive on their end. In fact, that stage 2 score held top 5 for a very long time. And moving on from Kiss Off would be Exanstify. This one is one of our biggest increases. Last
Yes.
year, Exanstify was like low seed, and now he's standing here at high seed. And I think this is even the middle of the high seeds, which is very impressive coming from a player that was low seed last time.
Yo, rank 5 and rank 4 on both LNs. So
Yeah, that is very scary.
holy.
And next up, after Exanstify, will be Beton Robot with a very good LN scores in general, 11 and 8. Like that was not surprising anymore. They're really proving that they are a great tournament player. That SV score was also surprising to me. I did not know that they would practice it that much. And the Rise were like, wow, as well. And overall, this is just one of the players that's improving a lot. And it's just showing right now. And we're gonna be starting with the top 10 now. Top 10 is in Nathan and Mania. Previously number 3, which has went down 7 ranks to go to the 10. It does seem like that they do have a balanced score in general. It's just stage 2 kind of like made it a little bit lower. And like, man, 991 is 22. That
Yeah.
is insane.
I am
Really-
quite surprised Nathan got 22, rank 22 on stage 2.
Yep,
So-
same here. And we'll be going with 9. Who is going to be the last high seed? It's gonna be Unitori.
Let's go.
Unitori with 7 on the SV and on the LN. With a really balanced spread in general. Rise 1 and LN 2 are their lowest, and that's 13. What an insane spread. And this
Can I... Okay, carry on.
And if this is the high seeds, if this is how balanced the high seed is, I can't wait to see the top seeds.
Can I introduce the first top seed?
Alright, go ahead. You have the honor.
At number 8 is the most improved player of the entire from
Oh my
2021 is Cub03 from the Kayan clan. At number 8, top seed coming from not even qualifying last year. The biggest surprise of this qualifier round, I think.
I
Like,
agree.
wow.
I'm flabbergasted. Top 2 SV, let's go. Seeing stage 2 rank 8 with a 996, it's kind of sussy how high it can be. How high could the other top seeds have? Like, what are their scores? And rank 5 on LN2 or stage 5. That's really amazing.
I agree. And moving on, 7. I really proud of this one, bro. Silicosis. This is the first person to reach a 90 total rating. It just goes to show how balanced Silicosis is. It's just stage 3 and 4 kind of have, some stuff to improve on. But look at that stage 1, 2, and 6. Literally 4, 2, and 3 respectively. That is insane. Especially that I used to think Silicosis might not be able to keep up with early game act. Right now, they're proving me wrong. And next up after Silicosis is 4Ken. Oh man, this is one of the biggest names in this pool of players. I think both of you can attest to that.
Oh, definitely.
Like
Oh my-
this is one of the biggest names, one of the most improved players as well, coming from last year.
What is that stage 5 and 6?
Okay, can I have a fun fact? That stage 3 has a miss.
Oh,
You know,
unfortunate.
their act without the miss was with the miss was 99.88 on
I'm
stage
crying.
4. On stage 4, like that's insane.
There's
And-
no way, right?
And I know, right? It's just at stage 1, but still insane scores. And number 5, I think everyone knows who this is. Arquin Olivirus.
Hi,
Man.
Arquin.
Man.
Twitch chat, please spam hi, Arquin.
Hey,
Yeah,
Arquin.
please chat, please spam. Hi, Arquin. I think I want Surf to explain this one.
Oh man, like the absolute veteran of a player, the only VTuber in this roster as well. Like we have to mention that. Like second place in the OSU Philippines Nationals 2021 4K tournament as well. Like absolute god slayer. Like he's really good. He's really really good. One of the most consistent players you'll ever meet. Oh man, can't wait.
His nickname is literally the Delta Slayer, right? Remember?
Yeah.
That is an insane nickname to have. And can I introduce the next 2 players? Because these,
Sure.
we'll go one by one first though. Number 4, a rising player in the scene, Apple at number 4. Hey Apple, knife. Anyways,
What? I did
anyways, I
I did
just
not
gotta
expect
say,
that.
this is a very balanced set of scores once more. Look at that stage 3, 992. I don't think anyone else cracked 990 here. Because the second highest is a 983.
Oh,
What is that score? And
What?
and the stage 5 too, 991. In general, these are just an insane scores. Just gotta say that. And number 3, I think this is gonna be a surprise. Puddles is number 3. Night Javelin, also known as Night Javelin.
Night Javelin, my beloved.
I gotta say, Puddles and Apple have really proven to be 2 of the Philippines' rising LN giants in the tournament scene. And look at it, it's just showing right now. 994, 676 on Cave. What a score! Like literally, what kind of score is that?
You know, Puddles was like crying on the KNGC. Like he was telling that he would not make the bottom seed or something. What is this?
What's wrong with you,
What
bro?
is this?
Bro, what is wrong with you? But like, before we go to the top 2, I just gotta say, look at the gap between Puddles, Apol, and Arquinovirus. It's
Yeah.
so close, and even Fortkin with that. Like, any of these could have taken it a step
Mhm.
further. And, yeah. Number 2 is Volpsy with a 94.78 rating. Like, look at that number 4 score. 996,438. That is a demolish the map.
Wait, that's V1SS, right?
That's a V1 double S
Yes,
as well.
that is.
I'm gonna cry.
And their lowest seed is a 7 on hybrid 1. Like, they're just proving to be an amazing player now. More well-rounded than they used to be. And in terms of well-rounded, we have the number one, the most well-rounded, I guess you could say, player here is Mysteriel. Mysteriel is their number one seed of the Oceania Philippines Nationals 2022 for Mania 4K. Like, that is wow for Mysteriel. It's very nice to see because I'm pretty sure they almost missed their qualifiers and they just went in and say, you know what, let's do our best. And look at what happened. Seed number one is Mysteriel.
Absolutely performing the heck out of their minds tonight, even with a situation not really that ideal. And here's the thing about Mystery L, like, we were actually waiting for him to join last year's tournament.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well-
like, oh man.
Luckily, though, they were able to prove themselves in MWC, and not to mention, this was a player who was one seed away from getting top seed in soft last year. So, you gotta watch out for this guy. He's gonna say that right now.
And now that we're done with the qualifier results for both Oceania 4K and 7K, it's now time to distribute these players to their respective groups for the group stages that will happen in the next 2 weekends. But obviously, for those who are following us for the past few weeks, like ever since the forum post has been given, there is a change in the group stage format, and we'll be showing a graphic. We'll be showing the changes. And there you go. The group stages will not be following a round-robin format as it is by tradition. This is a format that was introduced in one of the tournaments I co-hosted recently, the Springtime Oceania 4K Free-for-All tournament, the 6th edition of that. So there will be 2 rounds, essentially, with 2 matches in the first round, 1 match in the second round. The first round will be happening next week, and the second round the following. So the first round will have 2 matches. The first one, match number 1, will be the top seed and the high seed player facing each other for the outright spot in the bracket stage as the group winner. And then the second match will be a battle between the low seed and the bottom seed player. The loser will have to say goodbye. Then the winner of match number 2 and the loser of match number 1 will face each other in a do-or-die match in the second weekend of the group stages. Will face each other. The winner will be advancing to the bracket stage as the group runner-up, and the loser will have to say goodbye. But for Oceania 7K, just to note, the loser of match number 3 for each of your groups will not immediately mean that you're eliminated, but you'll have to hope that you're one of the 4 best third placers in the entire group stages for you to advance to the final 16. So, here we go with the group stage draw. We'll start with the Oceania 7K draw in a few moments. So same as last year, there will be 6 groups of 4 players each. So we will be starting with the bottom seeds. To review, the bottom seeds are... Emily, can you mention them?
Alright, so we're starting with 7K. So, Noah Warp, Shorts, Don Pausto, Edison, Alpha, and Lordy.
So let us distribute them to the groups.
Yep, gotcha time indeed.
In Group A, we will be having Edison.
Alright, Edison to start. And for Group B, we will be having... That's Lordy. I think that's C, right? So C will be having Shorts. And for Group D, we will be having Loha Warp. Group E will have Don Pausto, which means Group F will have Alpha.
And that rounds out the bottom seeds of the tournament, and now we'll be moving to the low seeds, which are Emily. Please mention.
As for the low seeds on 7K, you have the Meme TFXD, Nathan and Mania, Tenshi, Keishi, Jans, and Arj Fangirl.
Here we go, facing Edison in the second match. In match number 2 in Group A is Keishi. We had one of the threats in the tournament as well, coming from the low seeds.
Group B will be having Tenshi. Very interesting dynamic here. And for C, we will be having
We have Jans.
Yep, Jans, indeed. And in Group D, we will be having, I think that's Arch Fangirl.
Yep,
That's
it is.
So we'll be having Group E, and that would be Nathan and Mania. And that means Group F will have the Meme TFXD. And now,
For the high seeds, which will be facing the top seeds next weekend immediately for the outright spot in the bracket stage. So please mention who they are.
the high seeds are Windrush123, Bueno, Simons, Nicolot, Homura, and Shadowzong0916.
Okay, let's go with the high seed for Group A.
That would be Bueno. And for Group B, that would be Nicolot. Meanwhile, for Group C, we will be having Windrush. Meanwhile, Group D will have Shadowsong0916. So that leaves 2 players left, which means E will be having Simons. So that means Homura will be in Group F.
Definitely some spicy matchups already made in case for that match for the second weekend of the group stages. We'll see how it rolls out in the end though. Anyways, let's go with the top seeds from Oceania 7K, and the avatars are already intimidating as is.
You know what, Surf? I want you to get the honors of doing the roles. Like, you're gonna mention which one belongs in each group.
Alright, so in the top seeds from 7K, who are they?
That would be Barry, Boji, Arquin Olivirus, Sunny, Lackpoint, and Kura.
And here we go with Group A. We will be having Tani facing off against Bueno in Group A next weekend immediately. And we have Korra in Group B. Gotta be one heck of a job for Group B. And then we have Bodji joining Group C. Only 3 players left in the draw. And Lack Points will be going off to Group D. Berry will be taking off the final spot in Group E, and Arquin Oliveras will be seeing action in Group D. And that wraps up the Osamania 7K group stage draw.
Wait, you meant Group F, right?
Yeah, Group F. Yeah,
But
sabog.
yeah, there is the group. I think Ken will be able to take a screenshot of this.
And now that
Alright.
the groups 7K groups have been distributed, it's time for the 4K people to roll their chances.
So, for this one, I would like to introduce 2 of our new commentators to help with us, to help with me and Arcat in the group stage draw. I would like to welcome Melancholy and Itawachi. Welcome to the commentator booth. This is your debut in this tournament. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
And yep, here are our new commentators, and Arcat is gonna be joining with us too.
Hi, I'm just doing something.
Alright, yeah.
I'll be
Right.
the one to say the names, I suppose.
Yep, yeah, you can have the honors to do that then. So we'll be going with the 4K groups, which will be 8 in comparison to 7K's 6. So, Surfju, go ahead and mention us the bottom seats.
The bottom seeds for Osamania 4K are Kotaru, Drag, Kirno, Normie Player, Satyani, Lordi, Sorafuru, and Arj Fangirl.
Yep, and we'll be starting. Itawachi, go ahead and start with Chirno.
Well, we got Cyrano for Group A. That's good. Let's see who goes for Group B. Arch Fangirl for Group B. Interesting choice. Who we got next? We got Sachiani for Group C. And up next we have Sorafuru for Group D. Alrighty. Group E, we got Kotaru. Up next, we got 3 spots left. Group F, we got Lordi. Ooh. Group G, we got Normie Player, and that leaves just 1 spot for Group H. And that'll be Drag.
Yep, and there is our lows. There's our bottom seeds rather. Thank you so much, Itawachi, for helping us with that. And for the low seeds, before we go on to the draw here, I would like to ask Surf285, who are our low seeds again?
The low seeds for Osamania 4K are Yukochi, Olaf, The Meme Thief XD, Hago, Jay, Steven, Tenshi, and Frostno.
Alright, I would like to ask Melancholy to please assist us with this one. You ready?
Yep, already.
So,
Okay, for Group A, it's Ken Tenshi. Next for Group B will be Brosno. Interesting. For Group C will be KNJ. Next for Group D will be Olaf. Interesting. For Group E, we'll see Hago. For Group F, will be Steven. Nice. For Group E, Group G, I'm sorry, will be Yukochi. Well, for the last one will be the last player will be the Meme Thief.
and thank you so much, Melancholy, for helping us with that. Pretty interesting group so far. And I think now we will be proceeding on with the high seeds. Surf2, please tell us what the high seeds are.
The high seeds for the Osamania 4K tournament are Astolfo, Gleo, Melancholy, Axe Fairy, Extensify, Betan Robot, Nathan Mania, and Unitori.
Alright, I guess I should go with this one. And for the first one, which will be Group A, we will be having Astolfo. Oh wait, that's a full KN group! I just noticed!
Let's go.
And
Let's
then
go.
Okay,
Group D, we'll be having
Go KN.
Nathan on Mania. And then Group C, we will be having Cleo. Group D, we will be having Beton Robot. And after that, joining Kotaro and Hago is going to be Axe Fairy. Following that, Group F is going to be having, I think that's Exansify. Yes, it is Exansify. Meanwhile, Group G, with 2 players remaining, we will be having Unitori, which means Group H will be having Melancholy. And before we introduce the top seeds, I just gotta say, right now we are seeing some interesting matches already.
I'm manifesting Cub on Group A right
Same.
now.
same.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
and
Same.
Yeah, same.
Well, before we roll, Surf2,
Cub on Group A, please.
Surf2, can we please know who the top seeds are?
The top seeds for the Osamania 4K tournament are Cub03, Silicosis, Forken, Arquin Olivirus, the second placer from last year's tournament. Apple, Puddles, Volpsy, the third placer from last year's tournament. And the number 1 seed overall is Mystery L.
Well, Arcat, I'll give you the honors to speak here. Alright?
Okay, for Group A, we will have. Wait, Silicosis. No, it's ruined.
It's
No.
ruined.
It's
No.
actually ruined. Silicosis, go get out. I mean, no.
Wow! Wow! Alright.
Wow.
The Michael
Let's
Pian
go.
roster in
Wow.
one group.
That's rude, man. That's rude.
Wow, let's go with Group B. Let's go with Group B.
I'm sorry. Please. Okay, group. Oh, Mystery L on a
Oh, no.
KN versus KN as well. Frosto and Mystery L.
But that depends if Data the Media manages to beat Mystery L, though.
True. Next up for Group C, we have Puddles. Whoa, okay, cool. Uh-oh, Jay on chat right now is crying. For Group D, Apple-istic. That's nice. Group E, oh, Cobb03. Next up, Group F, Volpsy. Oh, let's go. And Group, what letter is it again? I am dumb.
G.
Okay, 410 for the
Group
second
G,
to the
right?
last group, and Arquin for the last group.
Wait, I just noticed a big coincidence.
Arquin
This-
was picked last both times.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Arquin was last in both times. I guess that's something telling here. And here we go.
It's just the gotcha.
I believe this is the most stacked group we had in like this set of groups. This is the most stacked group stage we've ever had.
Definitely.
Yep.
So I guess this is it. That's our qualifier. No, not qualifier. Group stage draws. Let's proceed to the next phase, which will be the. Is it 7K first?
Yes, because viewer retention is what we need.
Let's go. Let's proceed to the 7K group stage showcase.
So
Jeez,
joining
shameless.
joining me in commentary this time around are Paul Kappa and Lenpai.
Yeah, we're back. And
Anyway, so point of warning as well for our streamer, paki-lower ng volume sa first map pa lang.
XD.
right, so what to expect on this map will serve?
I mean, first things first, it's going to be easier than qualifiers, thankfully, because it's early game. But man, like there are a few picks here that are going to be proven tricky for a lot of the players, especially in the lower end. But it will be those that you'll have to take advantage on if you want to get that win in the first weekend and just hope for the best on the second weekend. Oh my goodness, there are a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
I agree.
the map is pretty good actually, and going by the results of the qualifiers, since this group stage is gonna be on the easier side, this is gonna be a measurement of the consistency and the accuracy of the players going into this stage. So we might see a lot of upsets, particularly with the players who are more geared towards the late stage. So it's gonna be really exciting to see how the low seed and the mid seed matches end up.
Well, anyways, it's time for us to start the Maple Showcase with the first pick, which is Rice. We have Alan Walker alone. It's not faded, okay? So you do not ban faded. A chart by are we
Yahweh.
Yeah,
Yahweh.
yeah, Yahweh from the US, and this is our primary chord pick. There are some, I mean, given its chords, it's the accuracy pick, general accuracy pick of the pool, but it's not your straightforward chords, unlike Korokoloid from last year's group stage map pool. Since this is on the heavier chordy side, like there are some 1/2 chord jacks, there are some mini brackets as well.
Yeah, I do want to mention that I'm quite familiar with this chart, having played this from the other game, Quaver. So yeah, this chart has a very healthy amount of bracket movements, large chords, and those kind of like flam-like mini jack patterns, which really requires a certain amount of skill, a certain amount of accuracy, finger independence. So it's not as free as players might think because of the variety of patterns that are present here.
Some of the chord usages also get heavy at the at like the final half of the chart. Like it's kind of backloaded. Yes, Arcat, it's backloaded, not backhanded. Okay.
Yeah, it's backstabbing.
Oh my god. Oh, anyway, still we're seeing some build up here. I mean, this is like the free accuracy section. You'll just have to be careful that 1/3, if I'm not mistaken, 1/3 mini jack at the first column or 7th column, depending if you're using mirror. But this is fairly straightforward.
Yeah, I also
And-
do want to mention that there's a good amount of ring finger movement here. So like the middle finger and the ring finger. There are some hidden trails there that can really put off players from the lower seeds.
Yeah, some 6-note chords as well, just thrown in there. A trick there, I guess, for some of the lower level players, like try to put as much power there and then build up, and then try to build up from there. Like that's a tip. One old menu player told me. Shoutouts to Naruz Maria for that. And up next
And
is
Mhm. And for the next one, which is our first hybrid pick, it's Marionette by Meme. Is that Meme or Meme? I don't know.
how do you pronounce that?
I think it's Meme. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, let's go to the replay. And yeah, this like not this isn't your typical hybrid pick, and this is more focused on basic Ellens and more on the slight course turn side, I should say. And yeah, as you can see, there are like doubles and Ellen stairs, and it's just like that.
Yeah, that looks really comfy to play. This kind of reminds me of like Juha. You know, their maps are really on the comfy side. They look good. They play great. Kind of reminiscent of the ETP charts. So this is on the more comfy side. So I think this is a favorable pick for just about any player going into the matches.
I guess the most similar pick here compared to let's say Group C last year is Max Love. But Max Love from last year was kind of iffy as well on the right section. I mean, there was some
Yeah.
middle finger, ring finger action there, which is, I think it tripped up a lot of players.
Yeah, Max Love is very tricky with the string section, and this one's a lot more comfy. Although you see those reverse shields on the end column, so that might be a little tricky to read. Might be a choke point for some players.
Yep, and it's not just a reverse shield, it is a reverse shield going into a ladder pattern. And ladder patterns are not really the easiest to pull off.
I agree, because sometimes when there are stair patterns, I always play it with random. Back in my auto-jump days. And yeah, overall, this is a really, really fun map to play. Players should not ban this.
Pretty straightforward, really. Like, man, as Lanpai mentioned, like this is going to be possibly one of the more favorite charts to pick overall for any of these players. And next up in the pool is arguably one of the harder rice picks in the pool, which is our Chord Stream basis pick. We have Shaky Jade Star, a chart by No Name, the same guy who made the stage 3 qualifiers for this tournament.
And look at that player, number 1 Ijisanji Enjoyer. I wonder
Wow.
who's that Aries.
I
Right
mean,
after a Hololive replay.
yeah. We have a trifecta among the 7K play testers, but let's mention that later. But anyways, same with attack in the minor key from the qualifiers. This is practically the one of the super straightforward chord scheme charts. I mean, you have some heavy chords, you have some rolly sections that I mean they do get a bit trilly at some point, but I mean it's chord streams. It's kind of expected there. Um I guess matter of comparison as well to last year's chord stream chart, this is definitely heavier. This is actually harder than the chord stream pick from last year's group stage. Also hit sounds.
Yeah. So for this pick, I think the patterns here are very fluid. So I don't remember playtesting this that there is a good amount of bracketing. So things are a little more on the mini trill, rolly patterns, very comfy stuff. Not too rolly, so it's quite easy to rack up some accuracy. So I think uh, there's a good amount of uh, matches that could have like one miss turnover. So like a player misses and then the win goes to the other. Uh, Small chokes like that. So it is a very consistent map to play. It's a very easy map to play consistently, but chokes happen, and we're gonna expect those going to the group stages.
Also, just to be careful, like the final section of the chart does have some heavy streaming stuff. I mean, there was also a 1/6 transition. Have to be careful there.
And yeah, going to the next one, it's gonna be uh it's a surf queue map. It's Wisteria by Free Lives, and the difficulty lane is longevity. And yeah, walk us through on your map, Surf.
Okay, so this is a familiar chart to those who played in ETT. This was used in the early as a hard rock pick in the round of 32. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is the primary LN coordination pick of the map pool. The first of two LN picks in this pool as well. So first part is basically just some layered LN stairs. This part is where you have to be kind of careful because there are some long notes here that are definitely focused on this one hand. And it's something a lot of players need to work on, I suppose, because I think, as I said during the results earlier, nobody likes to play coordination LNs.
I do.
I mean, I don't even like playing my charts XD. I don't like scoring on them.
Wow.
Like, yeah. I don't like scoring on my own charts because I'm so bad at them. Fun fact. But yeah, here's like the more intense section. You have LN stairs. These are 1/4 long notes with some rise there, kind of making a slight bracketing motion. Also, be careful with these stairs because they're charted via pitch relevance, so they are not the most comfortable long note stairs you'll ever play.
And who is the player of this map?
Well, now that we have some downtime, we are seeing the second member of the trifecta. I I'm pretty sure like the last one will be showing up later in a different pick.
I'm really curious. I have no idea who that was, but yeah.
I forgot the third member if we got a third member of the trifecta as one of the replays. But anyways, here we go again. The final section of this chart is this practically the same as the first intense chart, but this time around there are some supporting 1/8 long notes here trying to trip up your accuracy just a bit. So you have to be careful, pay attention, because you just cannot turn off your brain in a coordination LN chart.
Yeah, that's what I want to mention. So like unlike other coordination charts where it's really hard to combo, this one is I find this rather easy to combo, but accuracy becomes a very defining factor here with those short long notes and the awkward patterning, and I think that's what defines this chart going into the groups with how the scores would end up.
And yeah, going to the next map, we have all the things she said. Rusty Hope remix by Tattoo, and it's a flex map, and it's played by a whole live fan. I wonder who he or
I
she
wonder who
was.
was that.
Yeah, and this is the third hybrid beat for this map pool, and this is more focused on the techie side because there are some delay stuff that's gonna happen on this map and this as the song progresses. So we're already like on the intro of the song.
Honestly, like this is one of the. I think this is easier to. Excuse me. One of the
Yeah,
easier charts to deal with. Easier hybrids to deal with. I think this is easier than Marionette in general. Oh my goodness, my coffee.
yeah,
For
yeah. I thought so. This is one of the easiest hybrid picks on this map pool because the note density of this is quite low compared to the other hybrid picks that we're going to see as we go on. And yeah, and it's more focused on the LNs as well. But the techie parts of this map is focused more on the Rise. So let's just see what's gonna be happening on this one.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Please proceed.
Okay, so like this is honestly easier to act than Marionette in my opinion because though this part isn't really it's pretty simple to deal with if you're in the higher level, I suppose. I mean, those are some grace notes. I think those are flams at this point. You have to be careful of those. I mean, there's that. But this LN section here is actually super fun to play, super fun to pull off. Not that hard to act actually. Like it just looks intimidating on stream.
Yeah, it's really it's really cool. You will enjoy playing this.
Yeah, so like for the most part, this looks very straightforward. But prior to the comfy LN section, there's actually a good amount of corded long notes, like one half shielded stuff. So like players who aren't really used to playing chords with long notes, they might have a bit of a hard time with this. So like this is more geared towards chords, and the Juha map is more geared towards strings. So yeah, that's just a bit of an observation.
There's one needs Ellen's there right there and some race notes as well. And yeah, this is the one of the tech parts that I have mentioned earlier. And
Awesome.
we have a very short
Wait,
break
okay.
here, and yeah, it's gonna be the basic one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a diff spike. Yeah, there's a bit of a diff spike too. Like, that's not really free to act those flams.
Oh, definitely. And that break section is not going to help, especially if the scores are very close, because you'll be able to see your opponent's score whether you like it or not. So, man, like that final section is going to be super evil. Also, do not turn off your brain. Do not remove your hands from the keyboard as well on that break section, because obviously there are some notes coming in. Anyways, moving on to the next pick.
We have Kotonoha Capsule by Cosmo Buso. And this is our speed map. And yeah,
Arguably the hardest pick in the
Yeah.
entire pool.
yeah, this is really fast. But compared to J-Star, this is way less dense.
But man, the speed you need in this chart is compensated. I mean, the loss of density is compensated. I mean, those are some pretty fast patterns, if I remember correctly. Yeah, those stairs. I have to work on your speed here. Also, some alternating trills, pretty fun to play. But
Those
man.
throw hundreds are really comfy. I like that. And look at those speed stairs. Yeah, you guys might trip up on these patterns, so you better be careful on those. And these stairs are really fast.
The ladder patterns here, like those something like that ladder going to stair, I actually find a hard time transitioning from those every single time. Like those bursty parts are not going to be straightforward at all for a lot of these players. You just have to be super careful, get your finger control down, and try not to rush as well. Super easy to rush in this chart.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the Yaoi map from last year, the speed chart. So this
Yeah.
is at what BPM is this?
It's 228 BPM.
228, not too far from each other. So that whoa.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
is
really?
yep, that is the most fun part.
That's the most fun part. I agree.
I didn't know there's a thing in this chart. Wow. Good luck.
True.
I think that section will definitely define how this chart will be scored on. Also,
Yeah,
sometimes
that's gonna be very defining because like trills in 7K, they're not really that common in the lower level of play.
And yeah, thank you, Tokohana Shield, for the gameplay as well. And moving on to the next map, by the way, we have
yet another the second Alan chart. Yet another chart of mine. This is actually ranked. So, DM Dokuro Sanctuary Submerge Terraria Osamania PH Terraria Gang Rise Up. So this is the more on the release heavy chart. I mean, there's some coordinations as well. Like, put it this way: if Wisteria is more on the easier to combo, easier to combo, hard to act kind of coordination, this is the exact opposite. This is the easier to act, harder to combo on kind of coordination. And at the middle of this chart, somewhere in the middle of this chart, it's kind of obvious. Like the pacing of the chart changes, and it turns on into a more release-heavy section. Also, music is super calming. Hopefully, you don't relax too much.
True. Better focus wins on this map. And yeah, let's enjoy the
Also-
song for the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Column 1 LN, going into a reverse shield, you have to be careful. That section as well is kind of a div spike, that kind of a flammy part. Have to be careful there because it's easy to trip up. And here we go with that sort of release heavy section. Supporting 1/8 long notes on that electronic sound. It's kind of obvious to see where it started. Have to be careful there. I mean, this part is relatively easier to act though than Wisteria's final section.
Yeah, I think this is easy. I do find this easier to act compared to Wisteria because of the lower BPM. So those short long notes, it's much easier to telegraph when to release those. But of course, for the lower end players, you need to be aware of the finger independence requirement for this, because this is the kind of chart that is very easy to accidentally drop a miss.
Also, final part of this chart, like, it kind of drags on, in all honesty. I mean, I find this dragging on for a bit. So, kind of have to be careful. Like, just don't turn off your brain. Like, this is like the early game. It's easy to lose your focus. Like, you just go on autopilot and suddenly you commit a mistake. Easy to do that in this level.
Well, it's really easy. This song is so relaxing. Like, can't blame the players if they miss just vibing to this music.
and yeah,
And
once
now
again,
for our next pick is the exact opposite to relaxing. We have
we have
Sayura's Lost Shaxi. Definitely the opposite to the previous song.
And yeah, this is a mixed rice pick, by the way. And we're starting with a speedy stairs, and yeah.
Also, shoutouts to the replay name.
He's burglar.
He's Burglar.
And yeah, going back to the map, this is mostly the intro is like mostly on the speedy side, and there's some, what do you call this? I legit get brain farted.
Oh man,
Because
it's a brain fart pattern.
yeah, it's like there's like a jocks, and it's gonna be transitioning into more than scored stream, and it's like an alternating pattern, some sort of that way.
Also, also, this chart is deceivingly easy to combo actually. Like the patterns are like they look intimidating as is, but once you start nailing how the chart is being done, like this latter part is going to be probably your biggest problem, I suppose, aside from the mini delay section as well. But overall, quite easy to combo, but accuracy might be the other question because the focus of the chart just oh man, like it's hard to explain. I think
Yeah.
like you just have to be careful.
Yeah, I agree. This looks way too hard, but once you played it, you will tell yourself that this is like one of the easiest rise picks on this map pool. And yeah. And by the way, our viewers are wondering if there is like a VTuber song on this map pool. And by the way,
Unfortunately,
this like the very very last no mod pick for this map pool, and
lower volume for a bit for a
uh,
streamer
yeah,
because we
the
have. Oh, okay, you're moving too fast. Moving too
too
fast.
fast. Don't get too excited. Anyway, the last song for this one is the very last hybrid pick on this map pool, which is Yosobi Love Letter. And it's played by VTuber Enjoyer. And all I can say is unfortunately, we don't have any VTuber songs for this map pool. However, there are so many VTuber Enjoyers on our playtester staff, so I think that's quite nice.
Ang problema kasi dito sa Mapo selection team natin ngayon, meron nag-veto ng mga VTuber picks eh.
True. Anyway, but there is one VTuber song that got bypassed, and it's the stage 6 qualifier, by the way.
Anyway, so let's focus on this chart.
Yeah, this is like yeah. Anyway, going back to the map, this is This is like the most generic hybrid map that you can see because it's like a mix of rice and noodles, as you can see, and nothing more, nothing less. They're like for the peaks or something. And yeah, while holding a lens. And it's gonna be like this until the end of the song. And we're now on the mini break of this song, which is like pure rice. And yeah, any yakisoba enjoyers on the chat?
Yeah, the drums. I mean, the rice here follows the snare drums very well. Like, I really like how this chart is. I really like how this section is charted overall. Kind of reminiscent to Rice 1, which is Alone from earlier. But this is a bit more starey, a bit more chord streamy, kind of like that section. But here we go, returning to some coordination like long notes. Kind of a mini release section as well. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
it's
like,
definitely
this is beautiful.
it's definitely Alone, but with talents.
Yeah, that's true. Like Alone, just slightly faster. Some semi-brackety 1/4s. And a good amount of elements. So yeah, chart so far looks very well-rounded, not too tricky. Some mostly very simple sections. So yeah, despite its length, I think it's gonna be picked quite a lot. But here we go with the releases. So some players might think twice about picking this, which makes it which converts it from a rather simple pick now with some tricky releases.
Definitely, if the scores are close at the end of the chart, this is where some separation will be happening, definitely. Like, if you're someone dealing with this chart, if you're the guy who isn't prepared to deal with Lonos, you kind of have to give this a go through though. Because there are enough rice sections here for you to regain that accuracy that you lost, especially on the matches that matter. I mean, all the matches matter, but like, I think this is one of those last resort picks for some of these players. But I do see some players going for this immediately, like somewhere in the middle of the map.
And yeah,
Anyway,
that's gonna be the last no mod pick for this map. And proceeding to the tiebreaker, we have a Bang Dream song. It's Blessing Chord by Roselia.
honestly, easier structured tiebreakers. Like this is super straightforward. You are not going to see that much. Not going to see that many charting gimmicks. Not that much flams. Not that much any special stuff really. Like, this is super straightforward, but it works. Like it tests you just enough to see if you're capable of playing some stuff that you're probably going to see in the round of 60.
And this is absolutely way easier than Stage 6. I'm sorry for that in advance as well.
Sorry,
Man.
not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, indeed.
I mean, like, the main verse section of this chart is just some easy chords, but it does pick up in rice usage at somewhere. You have to be you just have to be attentive. Do not turn off your brain, as I've said so many times in this showcase.
Yeah, I choke a lot of times at displaying this. I mean, trying to provide a replay for this, but unfortunately mine didn't go through because I suck at this game. I know it. Not really, I suck at this game.
I mean, ang ganda din sana ng replay name nun eh.
Yeah, I agree. That replay name is Yuki Nameng, pero pagod.
No, not related to the Yukina Meng, the player. Yung player na part and stuff. But anyways, here we go with the main difficulty part of the chart at the chorus. Like you see some mini chord singing like pattern with some occasional long note usage. Have to be careful because the long notes here are not as straightforward as you would think.
Yeah,
Like,
some of
this-
the elements here are so random. It's gonna be like a basic. It's gonna be because sometimes it's gonna be a normal Ellen and it's gonna be a release Ellen suddenly that might lose your focus based on what I've experienced playing this on this map. Just like those Ellens. So stay awake.
Oh yeah, this kind of reminds me like of Knock Ainen charts and like a few of the rank of hybrid style charts, except that instead of just having the standard patterning rice long notes, we have this kind of tricky long notes, like invert-ish kind of stuff. So it's not as free as it looks initially, because later on the long notes kind of stack up and get a little more tricky.
Also, for those who are keen-eyed here, like you are noticing that the chord usages are getting heavier as the chart goes on. Like there's some kind of linear progression in this chart. Like it starts off slow and then suddenly you're being greeted by these long notes that are being used alongside the chords. Kind of feels like a gallopy rice chart at some point, like something like that.
You kind of have to use large chords when you have a song named like Blessed Chord.
It's less appropriate.
But yeah, I think it feels like the song intensity is getting slightly getting higher as the song progresses, because I have a map of this, by the way, but it's really hard. It's extremely underrated and it's really hard. So I think I have the proper knowledge of this song. So yeah, I think this part's gonna be heavier.
Yep, you are seeing some. The long notes here are actually a bit differently compared to the other choruses. I mean, you are seeing a bit more awkward long notes instead of like the Ellen stairs going inside, like from your ring finger to your thumb, something like that. Instead, it goes from your thumb to your ring fingers instead, which is arguably less uncomfortable. And there's that stair transition. Have to be careful. A lot of players are going to trip up there because that's the only place where they see that.
Yeah, this section is really tricky. You must be aware for that as well. And yeah, that ends the TV song for this map pool. And
That ends the Osamania 7K group stage map pool. We'll be seeing these charts played in how many matches? 12 plus 12 plus 6. So there will be 18 matches in the 7K group stages. We'll be seeing these pools used in 18 matches. And now that the 7K pools are done, it's time for us to hand it over to Silawaska Els and Arcat. And thank you very much for joining us, Lenpai and Paul Kappa.
Yeah. All right.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, to start with 4K, just a little disclaimer. For the 4K players, as you may know, we have already removed the jack picks for early game. If you're not aware, we're only introducing jack picks or core jack picks, any type of jack, starting only on quarterfinals. So I'm really sorry about that. But as just a side note, jack picks are leaning towards physicality anyway. So if there is a jack map on the early stages, it would be like really contradicting. But yeah, anyways, we will still follow the same what's it called system. We will be having SV, hybrids, LNs, and rice picks. It's just that we have adjusted for the skill sets that needed to be focused on early games. But yeah, I think, Emily, we can now give the floor to both Melancholy and Itawachi for
Wait a minute.
the
Are they the one who's no? I thought we were the ones supposed to do this.
well
Yeah, you two were supposed to do it.
well
They just get
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
I
bloopers.
I'm just
May
happy to be
bloopers tayo
here.
yun?
XD.
Yep.
I thought they were
I'm
going
just being
to
chilling here in this commentary.
Nasa
We're just
nasa
happy to be
nasa ano ito eh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're just happy here.
whoop.
Whoops on my end.
Anyways, let's carry on.
But yeah, Arcat, would you wanna go ahead?
Okay, so for our first map, we have our Rice 1, which is Good Bounce. This is a FFR file by Mifa, and it was uploaded on Osu just recently, honestly. This is our broken jump stream and broken, what's it called? Jumps. Also, this is basically like light JS, if you can consider as that. Just additional details for the map. This is OD 8.5, HP 8.5, 180 BPM on 1/4. The star rating is 4.07, but it doesn't matter, honestly. It plays like a accuracy heavy jump stream. It cuts off with like triples. It cuts off with like five note streams, and on the chorus part, it goes to a really light JS. It's nothing too physical. Of course, it's early game, duh. But yeah. Also, the diff name is good file. Agree or disagree?
Yep. I guess it's agree on my end.
It's really a good file. Also, Demi putting off a 999 557 score here. I think he only got 7 grades. No, 7
Perfect. I think
Oh.
it was around 7 to 15. Let's just put it like that.
Oh god.
But like, okay, let me just say, a score of this caliber is going to be really hard to get, especially with like, I believe this has a high OD as well. I think it's OD 8 or 9, around that.
8.5.
Alright, okay, it's in the middle then.
Yep.
So yep. Oh, that was one of the perfects. That's the only one I saw. Oh wait, that's another one. But yeah, broken jump stream is how we would describe this, I guess.
And it's no joke at all.
Okay. 15 300s. Okay, so let's proceed to the next pick. Oh, by the way, this is random. Okay.
Yep,
This is
it's
our hybrid pick. Emily, do you want to describe this?
Alright, let's go ahead. Another insane score, by the way, by Demi Fiend, SMT.
Peko!
Anyways,
God.
here we go. So, of course, it starts off pretty easily. Like, oh, okay, looks chill. But then, it already hits you with the L lens at the start. And really, we're only starting with one hybrid because naturally you wouldn't really be tested too much with the various skills. But as time passes on, as you progress further, you will be tested with your versatility even more. But right now, we will be chilling first with one hybrid, and it's a really difficult one because it does have that short LN timing combined with long LN timing, and that makes it difficult in LNs. What makes it difficult on the Rise end? The patterns are pretty hard to coordinate with LNs, and with that alone, you can classify this as a hybrid. And right now, you're already starting to see more of the Rise parts, which is pretty technical if you were to ask me. Got a short LN section here. Does seem easy to act, but it's not at all.
Okay, so some other details before that. Thank you, Jerwin, for letting us use this. Just with an honor of appreciation for Jerwin. Really good mapper, really new mapper as well. And details about this map is this is OD8 HP8 and it's in 215 216. Oh, it's 215 BPM. The star rating doesn't matter, but it's on 3.6.
Well, yes. I mean, of course, it is group stage after all, so you're kind of expected to be not so high, you think? But
Yes.
it isn't really your typical 3.6 in the sense that it's still gonna be difficult to act.
The main difficulty spike here is maybe the last part where there is a LN, like short LNs and rise on the middle of the LN. But I guess you can play it as streams. But yeah, that's our hybrid map for group stage. Let's proceed to the next one.
Well, I believe this is definitely up your alley. You better discuss it.
Yes. Okay, so let us welcome our SV2. This is neutralized by both index and rule blazing. So this is a reject, I think. Wait, is this a reject on SVSE? I can't remember. But this was played in a tournament, if I'm not mistaken. This is also our first slow jam LN, but it's reading, mainly reading. There's no teleports here, there's no diff spikes here, and considering that this is group stage, we want this to be like a Rise act rather than a SV map. So we did want this pick to be playable for everyone. So I don't think it would be a ban bait, or I also don't think that this would be like banned at all. I'm expecting this to be played every single lobby.
Well,
But
I would like to say for now that please practice SV for the love of God.
yeah, it's fun if you have patience, but if you're like mad at everything,
Yeah, that's true.
then maybe ban it. We're not forcing you to practice, but
Yeah, but
it's really easy.
though, okay, I would just like to say in addition to that, like, let's break the SV should be the go-to ban. Let's stop.
True.
Because that is not gonna help you tactically. You have a lot of picks which you could have like chosen, but unfortunately, because you had to ban the SV, you won't be able to maximize your strategy more. So it really is advisable that you practice these maps. So at the very least, you will be prepared of what's to come.
Don't worry, there is a ban-worthy map in group stage, and it's not LN. So let's proceed to the next one.
Alright, so that's Rise 4. I gotta say, the song choice is very interesting. Because
Yes.
this seems like the song or music that is in the late game, but here we go. We have it very early on.
This is the ban bait map that I'm talking about. This is our technical rice pick, and it's really, oh god, it's really S word to play. It's really stupid. So yeah, this is our technical map. The details on this would be it's on HP8, OD8, and 125. It's 125 BPM, but the snaps are on like wacky style. We have like 7/16s or like 1/6, or there's like flams on it. And I guess you could say that this is a nerf site or something. But yeah, a lot of players, I anticipate that a lot of players would ban this just because it's technical. For like, as you can see, like right now, there's a lot of tricky patterns, especially the trills, the streams with the flams. Yeah,
You gotta be careful here because technical maps, you may be able to ratio them, but those 200 counts will mean the world in here. Like if you were to look at the combo count, it's only 1,334. So even a single 300 or any imperfections whatsoever is going to be costing you anything at this point.
I agree to that. There's this one section where it has like a broken stream. Oh, there. It's like an X pattern or something.
Yep, I mean, it's an X pattern, so gotta be careful with those, and it's going to be ending with some flams, along with some anchors, I think, even. So that is not easy to hit at all. And here we go, that is the last stretch of the map.
Like the playtesters, we were expecting to have like a 997, but Nico Aimbot having a one great here just shows how hard our tech map compared to last year was. Because last year it was Kiss the Sexy Robot, and it was mainly coordination.
Yeah, this one is just consistency in general. And for the next one, I think I can describe this. This
Yes.
may be familiar to some 4DM players, including our cat. And here we go. This
Let's
is
go.
the speed pick of group stage. Dash Hopes 2. This one is no slack at all. It is, in my opinion, the most straightforward pick in the pool. However, what really stands out here is, again, every note counts. 1,020. This is among the lowest combos I think you'll see in here, or at least in terms of the rice picks, barring the SBs. And this may look straightforward, but really, it's so difficult to time something like this.
Also, another detail, if you notice that last year's speed pick was Yamada's team, which was 200 and wait, no, it's not 200, it's 122 122 BPM.
Okay, so let's
This,
just say that's 240,
yeah,
around that.
around, yeah, 244. Now this is 250, so it's 125 on 1/8.
Yep, that is really a difference. Even though it's like, oh, that's 6 BPM, that's actually a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge upgrade to compared to Yamada's team, because Yamada's team has pauses. This goes straight. Well, you can. I think it has like one break only and one LN on the ending section, but that's it.
That is true. And yeah, that is Dash Hopes for you. I guess the next one, we could be going to see a Ellen pick for the first time, which is going to be Masquerade by Unlucky Kuroko. This is no slack. It is group stage LNs, but of course, I believe this is the release pick, so of course the challenge is going to be accurately hitting those and releasing at the same time. Coordination is going to be super important in a pick like this. And the OD here is 7, which may seem low, but it's kind of your average one. It's kind of your average OD for an LN. Would you agree, Arca?
It's decent. It's decent. It's the I think it's below average, right? I think the average is 7.5.
7 to 7.5. Yeah, you're right. 7.5 is more common, I guess.
Yeah.
So here we go with the Masquerade. Even though it isn't really exactly the average, which is 7.5, the challenge here is keeping that high accuracy. If you're not focused, you can drop it to 100 without knowing. And that's really what LN is all about. You gotta keep your focus. Yes, you did hit the note, but did you release it on time? That can mean everything.
Also, I think lowering the OD on LN Score V2 makes it harder because the wider the what's it called again? The hit judgment.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, the harder the thing, the harder it goes to. I'm brain damage. Holy. I am so sorry.
That's alright, don't worry about it. Just
Yeah, let me-
Sige. What was this thing you were supposed to say?
I meant to say the harder the note judgment, the harder to release. Wait.
The higher the OD, the harder it is for the harder the release timing is.
There we go. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I actually brain farted. Oh god.
Yeah, no. You're
Ladies and
You
gentlemen,
mind hacked, Arcat. You mind hacked.
ladies and gentlemen, Arc Mind Hack Cat.
I'm gone.
That's okay, man. It's alright. I'm also like that. I'm also sabog. But anyways, let's go with
The next one.
Yeah, gotta say thank you for introducing this one. Could you do
Oh,
that?
by the way, thank you Chu for this map, for letting us use it. Also, thank you for the background. Anyways,
Alright, go ahead.
okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is our what's it again? This is our
This is your wild card pick.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just say that. This is the wild card pick.
yeah. Okay, so the wild card pick introduces really technical streams, but it's leaning towards rise consistency as well because it's not that hard. It's just really tricky to hit with trills, like with jumps, and all of that. You can consider this as a speed pick as well because it goes on and on and on, and the BPM of this is 187, so you can consider this as I've said, rise consistency. This is a really short pick, by the way. This is only 1 minute and 20, 1 minute and 17 seconds. So I think this would be a perfect map for a what's it called? Like your ending pick, if you want it to be like that. But this would be also your shortest gateway to lose. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
proceed
you're
to
right.
the next one.
pick, and this one is going to be interesting. This is going to be
This is going to be our LN consistency pick. Basically density, but there's no density in early game. Come on.
not really that much dense.
Yeah.
Here, I guess you could say it's kind of like a how do you say this? Well, let's just see how it is here. But right now, it already starts with some pretty long elements. And yes, there is not that much density here, but it's more than just a few columns, unlike the usual density pick, which will focus more on every finger that you'll be having to press it and release. Though it is kind of obvious right now that this is one of the longer picks in the pool. Look at that combo, 2964. I believe it should be around 2 minutes and 52, making this the longest pick in the pool, with the exception of course, it's a tiebreaker. This is an OD of 7.2 and an HP of 7. So, in comparison to Masquerade, this one is a little bit more difficult on the physical end with an SR of 3.69. And right now we are at the halfway mark. It is nice indeed. We are at the halfway mark of the map. And it does, look at the score right now. It's not even reaching 500,000 yet. It goes to show that most of the difficulty will be going on to the second half of this map. Just wait and see what's coming.
Also, I'm just gonna add that we picked a longer LN consistency map just to balance out the length of the Rise maps. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only 2 LN maps in group stage. And, it would be nasty if, let's say, we add a stamina pick on group stage, right? With, for example, a 4-minute map on Rise, then there's only 2 LN pick. That would be, really unbalanced. So, we picked a longer LN just to, what's it called? To stabilize the length.
Wait a minute, stabilize. Look at wait a minute.
Wait.
Wait, the owner, the creator of this map's name is Stability.
Stability. Oh,
so you, oh my god. So you just,
Bruh.
so you actually, I know this is a coincidence, but wow. So you picked the map created by Stability to stabilize the pools. Alright.
True, that's true. But then again, this is our second to the last map. And we will be showing the last normal pick of group stage after this one. It would be our SV1.
Alright. Since it's SV1, take the floor, please.
Yes. So SV1, please don't be shy to chat on the Twitch chat right now. Hi, Paturaj. Hello, I no, not Paturaj. Hyper, if you're there on Twitch chat. Whoops. Okay. So for our SV1, it's none other than a framework, which is mapped by the famous reading mapper, Hyper. I'm sorry if I get confused by Paturaj and Hyper sometimes. But yeah, this is our stutter map. There's no pauses on this. Okay? So the map goes on and on and on up until the end. So the gimmick here is just, again, it stutters, nothing else. This may be really boring to play. This is also, by the way, the replay right now is a sight read. So you can just bar on that line. You can just outline your what's it called? Your estimations on how you can play this in sight read. Because in retrospect, if you can observe, I can basically play this like a Rice map. Correct?
Yeah, honestly, judging from how it looks right now, it does seem like this is something that you could sight play.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it really also does seem like it's one of those SV picks which you can really rely on your act. But that's the challenge here. Is your act high enough to beat most of the players? Yes, you can get, okay, this is easier to get let's say 990k, 991k, but is your opponent gonna get that 990k, or will they get higher than that? That's the question here.
Paturaj in chat Haturaj in chat right now, this is said that this is the actual accuracy map. It's not the other one, which is good bounce.
Yep. I mean, like, here's the thing. The thing about SV picks like this is, again, you got to get the best act you can because everyone is gonna get good act.
Yes. To compare this from the previous nationals, we have computer demographics on 2019, which was a slow gem reading. That map was like really hard to play. We have last year. Last year was, oh god, I forgot. I forgot.
Wait,
I
what map?
forgot.
What are you forgetting?
The
other
reading
SV?
map.
You mean Timmy?
Oh yeah. I think
Tim-
it's Timmy.
Timmy is the other SV, while the reading one was the reading I think was Timmy and memorization was computer graphics.
Yeah, that one, Timmy and
Yeah.
computer graphics. Both are like reading in at some point, but this is just below that. Like, this is a downgrade, if you can describe it as that. This is so that we can consider everyone playing SV. There's no difficult SV on group stage. We are not evil to do that. And we want everyone to enjoy SV. That's our plan. But anyways, let's go to the tiebreaker. And for the I'm really sorry for reusing this. This is our first reuse as well. Wait, this is not the first. This is the second reuse from 4DM. And this is cyberspace, originally used in 4DM1. Wait, 1 or 2? I forgot.
No clue, but this was a T. Let's just say it was a TB in 4DM. Let's just say that.
Yeah. This is on 4DM.
But it is rightfully so, though. Like now. Go ahead.
The tiebreaker, the details of the tiebreaker is OD 7.5, HP 8, 150 BPM, 4 stars, also 4 minutes. No, not 4 stars, 3.85 stars and 4 minutes. We want the tiebreaker to be like just really short, not ranging from like 4:30 minutes to 5 minutes. We want this to be under that. And yeah, this can test your consistency on both LM and Rise. This also doesn't have like tricky or like bursty patterns like what's the speed map again? Dash Hopes. This only tests your capability of doing what's it called? Doing good at
you mean at anything? Let's just say versatility.
Yeah, that's the term. Being versatile in LN and Rise.
Yeah, just to put it in a better way,
yeah.
This tiebreaker basically tests what you're supposedly like. Let's say your archetype as a player. Like, are you good at a certain thing? And if so, how good are you? And how bad are you at certain things? This one, the tiebreaker, really aims to test your specific skill sets, your build as a player. Like, each and every skill set matters here. And the more versatile you are, the more the tiebreaker is into your favor. However, if your weakness shows in a tiebreaker, that is not going to be good.
Also, I want to just note that big shout outs to Index, How to Play LN, Rule Blazing, and what's the other one? Is it Chrysar Lane? It's oh no, it's Serenade. It's
Yeah, it is Chris Arlene.
oh, it's Chris Arlene, right? Okay. Thanks for the NSV version, and Index had to put this graveyarded map to pending again just for the update, and I really appreciate that thought. Wait, originally, uh, um, our tiebreaker is Camellia for group stage, so yeah, that's a good thing, I guess.
What were you saying?
Like originally the tiebreaker was drafted on Camellia.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
good
that,
thing. It's a good thing that we picked another artist to be played on group stage tiebreaker.
that's true. Yeah, too many Camellia tiebreakers.
Yes.
But anyways, we're nearing the end of this tiebreaker.
And yeah, there's nothing much there's nothing much happening on this tiebreaker rather than just streams and LNs and that whatnot. So yeah.
There we go. I believe that's the end of the showcase. I mean, after all, that is both 7K and 4K covered.
Mhm. I just want to say that I want to challenge the players like right now. To whoever gets 999 on the tiebreaker
That
on the
is,
actual lobby,
oh my
I will
god.
give I will give a hmm
Let's just save that for next time. But
I will
like, damn, if that ever happens, I don't know, man. Though I gotta say, if there's one challenge I have to these players, regardless of your qualifier seeding, I want every player here to prove that they're more than what the numbers say. Okay? Regardless of how you placed, this is your chance to prove yourselves that you can do better than that. And I personally believe in everyone, regardless of what seeding you are,
I
because
agree.
it is not over yet. As long as there's a possibility, you gotta go for it. Nothing's
Mhm.
impossible, y'all.
Also, we encourage you to please do your best and not sandbag because there is a possibility that we might this is not a threat by the way, but we might just soft blacklist you
Oh,
if you were to sandbag and not play the actual, but that's not on the rules, but there might be possibilities that we might do that. So
yep.
yeah.
Be in your best sports. Be a good sport. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
But anyway, so before we end the stream, we will be showing the matchups for the group stages tonight. Like, obviously, like the groups have been drawn, and here are the matchups. Here's for Osimania 7K. Please do note that the numbering here does follow the graphic from earlier. So if it's 7K letter, the group letter, and then 1, that will be the top versus high seed. If it's match number 2, that will be the low versus bottom seed. Match number 3 is not yet prepared because that will depend on the results of matches 1 and 2. So for Osimania 7K, for Group A, we have Sani versus Bueno and Keishi versus Edison. For Group B, we have Kora versus Nicolot and KN Tenshi versus KN Lordi, a KN versus KN Derby here. Next up is Bodji and Windrush 123 facing each other in match number 1 for Group C. For match number 2, we have Jans and Shorts. And then for Group D, we have Black Points and Shadow Song 0916 facing each other. Arch Fangirl and Loha Warp will be facing each other in 7KD2. In Group E, we will have Berry and Siam and Z. And match number 2 for Group E, we'll have Nathan and Mania and Don Pausto facing each other. Lastly, for Group F, Arquin, Olivirus, and Homura will be facing each other. That is a very spicy matchup. And Group F2 will have the Meme Thief and Alpha facing each other. Again, the winner of match 1 will advance to the brackets. The loser of match 1 will have to play in match number 3. The loser of match number 2 will have to say goodbye, and the winner of match number 2 will have to face the loser of match number 1 in match number 3. And for Osamania 4K, Emily and Arcat, you could do the honors.
Okay, well, I will do from A to... I'll do from A to C, and Arcad can do D to G. Alright, so at least for A1, 4K A1, we have Silicosis and Astolfo. For A2, we'll be having Tenchi and Cerno. Again, another K and Derby there. While for B, we'll be having B1, Mysteriel versus Niconomania. That is going to be an interesting match. While B2 will have Frostno and Arch Fangirl. C1 will be having Puddles and Gleo. While C2, another very interesting match is going to be Jay and Sachiani.
Okay, for D1, it would be Apple versus Betan Robot. For D2, it will be Elsa. Oh god. Olaf versus Sora Furu. E1 would be Cub 03 and Axe Fairy. For E2, would be Hago versus Kotaru. F1, ama namin sumasalangit ka. But anyways, Vopsy versus Santify. F2 would be Steven versus Lordy. And G1 would be Forken and Unitori. For G2 would be Yuko versus Normiplier. H1 would be Arquin versus Melancholy. And next, lastly, would be, I think this is last. The match would be the Meme Thief versus Drag.
Obviously, the third matches of each group are not yet determined. It will be reliant on whatever happens in the next weekend. Oh my goodness. Lots of good things are about to happen, and we'll hope to see very spicy matches when they happen. Match schedules will be released hopefully before Tuesday hits. Please bear with us if there might be delays. I mean, we're kind of busy people here. But we'll hope to make sure that the schedules will be up by then. So, any last words from everyone in the call?
I just want to remind the players that the group stage would happen in 2 weeks.
2 weekends. The first
two weekends.
And obviously, given the size of the map pool, matches are in a best of 7 format. So first to win 4 charts will win.
Yes.
Not that much room to commit any mistakes. So have to be in your best game.
Yes. Also, I just want to remind the players again to please practice the maps and don't slack off. That's all for me.
This SV.
Yes.
Well, at least on my end, again, regardless of what qualifier seeding you are, please play at your best. Treat every match like it's your final match. What about, like, let's say Melancholy? You have any last words?
Oh yeah. Good luck and please enjoy this tourney. Don't think ahead and just practice and you'll be fine.
Alright, I guess Paul has also some stuff to say.
Yeah. Oh my god, I brain farted again. It's 12 a.m. I'm sorry. But yeah. Anyway, guys, for the 7K players, I'm sorry for the bad map pool. 4K map pool is really, really good. I swear to God.
Oh my
And
goodness. Are we comparing the song choices now?
No
man.
way!
XD.
Oh, man.
XD.
We should step up, sir. Oh my god. I'm starting to get shy on this map pool. Look at the comparison, man, between the
don't do
4K and
that.
7K.
Don't do that.
Don't worry. Round of 16 is pretty.
What should we do? We should add more VTubers songs or what? Or we should add more Camellias or what? I don't know. I don't know anymore, man.
Hey, like let me tell you, the most important part of the map pool is not the songs, it's the chart.
Correct.
I'm sorry for
if we
I'm sorry
add
for raging. I'm sorry.
if we add
Uh,
like if we add like banger songs in dog shit map pool quality, cancelled.
It will still be a dog shit map pool. Good
Oh
songs, dog
god.
shit pool. It will be a dog shit pool.
True.
It reminds me
Anyway,
of. Yep, that's it. I guess. Is that it for all everyone?
yeah. Anyway, let's
I
just.
think
Good
that's
luck,
it.
everyone.
So
We will
now
try our best to
yeah,
step up.
we have 2 weeks. I mean, round of 16 is pretty much of a banger. Not gonna lie, round 16 will be better in Santos Clockwise.
Yeah.
But anyways, now that we're done with that, let me do my ending spiel. So that's it for us tonight. This is our Q85 in the commentary booth. Alongside with me are Arcat, Silweska Elves, Melancholy, Itawachi, and Paul Kappa. In behalf of Lanpai as well, who joined us in the call earlier. This is the OSA Philippines Nationals 2022 OSMania 4K 7K tournament qualifier results and group stage showcase stream. Now signing off.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Once again. Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Guys, good night.
Okay, good night.